Come, let us worship together. Let us open our minds to the challenge of reason. Open our hearts to the healing of love. Open our lives to the calling of conscience. Open our souls to the comfort of joy. Astonished by the miracle of life, grateful for the gift of companionship, confident in the power of living faith, we are gathered here. Come, let us worship together.
I am Chris Mazarosh, and I have the honor of being the Sunday service coordinator for this great service. This has always been my favorite service of the year. I will open and I will welcome you all with a Unitarian joke that I made up myself. So it's kind of a long lead up. What did the Unitarian say to the Lutheran when he jumped back at the sight of 2 dimes and a quarter? What did the Unitarian say to the Lutheran who jumped back at the sight of 2 dimes and a quarter? Don't be afraid of some change. I copyrighted that one, so see me afterwards for rights. But I want to thank everybody for coming. It's so wonderful to see the service so full. So for the young and the old, the shy and the bold, please welcome, and please welcome into your hearts the young people who are putting a lot more on the line than some of us are this morning. And just really, I honor the bravery of so many people who are here today. So thank you very much, and welcome.
And I am Reverend Rachel Lonberg, the minister here, who gets to do very little today, except celebrate. And I have a few announcements. The first is that we are pretty crowded today, but there are chairs if you come up to the front up here, or kind of way in the back over there. So if you're looking for seats, those are good places to look. I also see some smaller people being on laps, which is also a great strategy this morning. I have a few announcements. The first is for church members. Tomorrow is the day that voting for our congregational meeting closes. So if you haven't voted yet and have opinions about our budget and other matters, please do. After church, there are several activities to know about. The first is there is a reception to celebrate all of our religious education volunteers out that way. And that will have punch and cookies. And we also are starting a class called the Inquirers series, which is for newcomers, new members, or anybody who just wants to know more about this church, because you can sometimes be here for a while and miss some stuff, and that's okay. So today's session is a Q&A with me, the minister, and that is meeting out that way outside. It's so good. We have so much outside space here. And that will be at 12:30. There'll be a light lunch provided, and there's childcare. So we asked people to sign up, but even if you didn't, you are invited. Next Sunday is next weekend is our flower service weekend. We are expanding it to make it even more accessible. So this is a service. This is our anti-fascist holiday as Unitarian Universalists and a celebration of community. So on Saturday morning, there is a drive-through, walk-through, bike-through, flower exchange outside on the front of the church building from 10 to noon. Bring one flower, leave with a different one. And that's also when we'll be unveiling our time capsule that was put in the wall in 1969. So come and see some things, or some old paper probably, most likely, but we'll see. I haven't opened it yet. I don't know what I can promise. I don't want to oversell it. And then on Sunday morning, whether you are with us on Zoom or in person, bring a flower to share and exchange or celebrate both our commitment to the care and love of all people and to this particular community. And after the service next week, we are going, if the weather lets us, we are going to have our first potluck in way too long on the church grounds. So I know, right? So bring a blanket or some chairs and a dish to share, and I'll get to eat all of your food again, which I'm so excited about. I bet some of you feel the same way. So now I invite you to get into whatever posture helps you sing your best, and Savannah will lead us in song.
Present body or spirit. Gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other one. One foot, and lead with love. Don't give up hope. You're not alone. Don't you give up. Keep moving on. You gotta put one foot in front of the other one. One foot, and lead with love. Lift up your eyes. Don't you despair. Look up ahead. The path is there. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead. I know you're scared, and I'm scared too, but here I am, right next to you. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Last time. You gotta put one foot in front of the other one. One foot, and lead with love.
Now I will light the chalice with the help of Waver, who is joining us on her birthday. If you are lighting a chalice at home, you are encouraged to type in the chat box, "A chalice is lit in your area." We light this candle as a symbolic act to establish a time in our week when rituals have meaning. Stories tell truth, and the spirit speaks louder than words of transcendent mystery of creation and our place in the universe.
The morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the spirit of God. We
From the beginning, families have brought their children to their religious communities. They have trusted their communities to celebrate their children and to help raise them. And we gather this morning out of reverence for the miracle and mystery of life in children and in us all. So in our child dedication ritual, we announce the name of children to this community, we bless them, and we dedicate ourselves to them as we dream of the lives that await them as they grow.
Could I invite the families who are dedicating their children this morning to come up front? When people love one another, they offer blessings and they make promises. And this is what we're here to do today. All of us are offering blessings and making promises to these children and these families. And we are dedicating ourselves to them. And first, we will start with the blessings. What name do you give this child?
Zai Youngtae Stilson.
We are so glad you are part of this church. I'm going to touch you with this flower, which is a symbol of beauty. And it has water on it, which is a symbol of life, on your brow, on your lips, and on your hands. May your thoughts, your words, and your deeds create more love and hope and joy in our world.
What name do you give this child?
Aurelio James Clark.
Aurelio James, or AJ. I touch you on your brow, on your lips, and on your hands, in the hope that your thoughts, your words, and your actions bring more beauty, joy, and goodness into our world.
And what name do you give this child?
This is Devin Han Halevsky.
Devin, I touch you on your brow, on your lips, and on your hands with the symbol of beauty and life, so that you may your thoughts, your words, and your deeds bring more love, more hope, and more joy into this world.
And now some promises, first for the families. Families, will you love your children? Will you encourage their love of others and the truth? Will you strive to show them through your words and your actions a life of beauty, meaning, and joy? Will you wonder with them, grow with them, teach them, and be ready to learn what they have to teach you? Please respond, we will.
Our next promises are for the children and the youth of the congregation. Can I have all the kids and youth stand up, please? We need you to help these kids grow up to be strong, and grow up to be wise, and grow up to be caring. Will you be their friends and set examples for them, set good examples for them? They will look up to you and admire you and learn from you. Will you promise to care for Devin, Sai, and AJ? To share with them and learn with them and grow with them? If you agree, please say, "We will." Beautiful. Thank you. You may sit down. And now it is time for the congregation as a whole to make the promises. Please join me in reading responsively in number 714 in your hymnal, which is a congregational blessing for child dedication. It is our faith that each child born is one more Redeemer. Service of dedication, we commit ourselves to the nurture of this child. Are you ready to dedicate yourselves to Sai and AJ and Devin? Will you strive to love and cherish them in times of struggle as well as gladness? We acknowledge the divine spark within each child. By beauty, embraced by love, and cradled in the arms of peace.
So now I invite everybody gathered in person and on Zoom to do a gesture of blessing with me. You can find what feels true in your body, but for me, it's taking my hand on my heart and then offering it up towards these little ones with a word or two of hope for them and their families. So let us offer a blessing. And so may all of our dreams for these children and their families come true. May these children always have a safe harbor in this community. May they always know that they are loved here and everywhere. And may all children know that they are loved where they are and have home and safe harbor in this world. I'm so glad you're part of our church. And we're going to invite you to go back to your seats, and we are going to listen to some music.
I am excited to take a moment today to offer some words of gratitude to volunteers who have gone above and beyond in the last few years to serve our children and our youth and our families beyond what we could have imagined 3 years ago. At this moment, I would like to invite all of the religious education volunteers to stand up in your seats or raise your hand if you're more comfortable. Stand up and let people see you. We have a list up here of the people who have volunteered this year to teach and serve on the RE committee and teach OWL and teach Keepers of the Earth and our high school youth group. We could not do what we do in this congregation if these people weren't willing to get up Sunday after Sunday, mornings and evenings for youth group, and come and pour out their hearts of love and energy and passion and commitment to this congregation, to these families and these kids and these youth. So at this moment, I would just love everyone to give a big round of applause for these helpers. Thank you. What you do is appreciated. What you do is valuable and valued. And I'm so grateful. And now we have asked a few of our kids to share some of their gratitude with you as well. And Laura's comprised a lovely little slideshow with some videos of RE this year for those of you who haven't got to experience what we've been up to.
That I love coming to RE because it is like really fun playing outside. It's just really fun being outside. At school I only get 20 minutes at most. With the kids they take 30 minutes to stop talking, so I only get 15 minutes. But here I get a lot of minutes, and I really like that. And thank you for all the stuff here. I really love it here. Thanks for teaching me. I enjoy coming here to see all my friends and just thank you for letting me into this wonderful class.
So part of what we have done in RE over the last few years is we have made an entire outdoor classroom space and trying to be as safe as possible during this pandemic. And if it wasn't for the generosity of this entire congregation to help support this church financially, there's no way we could do even remotely the amount of ministry that we do in this church. So it is through your generous support that we are able to have a RE program that continues through the pandemic, which many churches have not been able to do. So I'm so grateful for the volunteer support, and we're so grateful for your generous financial support. And with that, we shall take the offering.
Yesterday a child came out to wander, caught a dragonfly inside a jar. Fearful when the sky was full of thunder, and tearful at the falling of a star. And the seasons, they go round and around, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and around and around in a circle game. Then the child moved 10 times round the seasons, skated over 10 clear frozen streams. Words like, when you're older, must appease him, and promises of someday make his dreams. And the seasons, they go round and around, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and around and around in a circle game. 16 springs and 16 summers gone now. Cartwheels turn to car wheels through the town. And they tell him, take your time, it won't be long now, till you drag your feet too slow the circles down. And the seasons, they go round and around, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and around in a circle game.
And the
Seasons, they go round and around, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and around and around in a circle game. Years spin by and now the child is 20. Though his dreams have lost some grandeur coming true. There'll be new dreams, maybe better dreams and plenty. Before the last revolving year is through. And the seasons, they go round and around, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and around and around in a circle game. And go round and around and around in a circle game.
We now give thanks. We will now, please join me as we now give thanks. From countless gifts we have been given, gifts of life and love and substance. We bring these small portions to share in the worlds of love. Some
They are children when they sleep. There is no war in them. They open their hands and breathe in the slow rhythm given to humans by heaven. Whether soldiers, statesmen, servants, or masters, they purse their lips like small children, and they all half open their hands. Stars stand, watch then, and the arch of the skies hazed over a few hours when no one will harm another. Only we could talk with each other then, when hearts are like half-open flowers, words push their way in like golden bees.
Dear 6-year-old, training wheels are for babies. Just let go already. Regards, a 7-year-old. Dear 7-year-old, no matter what anyone says, stay weird. Signed, an 8-year-old.
Dear 8-year-old, find your babysitter's weakness, then use it against them. Signed, a 9-year-old. Dear 9-year-old, don't get involved with the popular kids. They're narcissistic capitalists that don't know nothing about politics. Signed, a 12-year-old.
Dear 12-year-old, ask her to dance. Just trust me on this one. Signed, a 16-year-old. Dear 16-year-old, don't let your mom throw away your Legos. Signed, an 18-year-old.
Dear 18-year-old, go easy on the makeup. You're not as ugly as you think. Love, a 19-year-old. Dear 19-year-old, just because it's an all-you-can-eat buffet does not mean you need to eat all you can eat.
Your parents have better interest rates than your credit card. If he says he has a weekend home in the suburbs, he's married. Whatever you do, never order the salad from a truck stop.
Dear 28-year-old, back up your hard drive now. Dear 30-year-old, getting laid off can be a blessing in disguise. Being a starving artist only works if you actually make art. Always be kind to your family. You'll need each other when things get tough. Stop panicking. Being a single mom is an incredible thing.
Dear 36-year-old, stop worrying so much about what other people think. They're not thinking about you at all. Signed, 47-year-old.
Dear 47-year-old, a midlife crisis does not look good on you. Signed, a 48-year-old. Dear 48-year-old, always tell the truth except when it comes to online dating profiles.
Dear 51-year-old, one cat is enough cats. Signed, a 53-year-old. Dear 53-year-old, it's never too late to try something new. I've decided to take my husband's Corvette and go to racing school. If Paul Newman can do it, why couldn't I?
Dear 72-year-old, spend all your money, otherwise your kids are going to do it for you. Sincerely, an 85-year-old. Dear 85-year-old, indulge your sweet tooth. You'll need dentures soon anyway.
Dear 88-year-old, cultivate younger friends, otherwise yours will all die off. Sincerely, 91 years old. Dear 91 years old, don't listen to other people's advice. Nobody knows what the hell they're doing. Signed, a 93-year-old.
Over the last few weeks, I have asked People's People what they learned over the last year. Here are your answers. This year, I learned that the Mandarin word for penguin, if you translate it literally into English, is business goose. I have learned all of the words to all of the songs in the movie Encanto. I've learned that aluminum foil has two different sides and food sticks to one side more than the other. I am never going to be able to drink kombucha. I know it's wildly popular, but I find it tastes awful. In the third year of the pandemic, I have learned that my patience is limited. I am learning to listen to my body when I am exhausted and stop instead of just pushing through. I am quite happy cocooning in Kalamazoo, except missing family hugs. I've learned more about myself as a person in the last year than I have in a long time. I'm much more of an introvert than I ever knew. I have learned that spending 3 to 6 hours a day writing fiction has made me happy in a way that nothing else ever has. And while this realization has come to me late in life, I am so grateful to have learned what makes me happy. It's both very simple and not simple at all. Discipline is still necessary. Recently, in a column by Black editorial writer Leonard Pitts, sourcing historian Carol Anderson in her book Second, I learned that the reason the framers of the Constitution included the Second Amendment was not to protect colonists from the British, but because Southern slave owners wanted to have militias to allow them to shoot enslaved people in the event of insurrection. So from our racist roots, we have become a country where anyone can buy guns and claim it as their constitutional right. I've learned that moving to a whole new city and a whole new state, while empowering and thrilling, is the loneliest thing I've ever done. Making friends in my 20s was fast and easy, but now in my 30s, in a pandemic, working 45 or more hours a week, it's so hard. My faith in humanity has been challenged in ways I could never have imagined over the past couple of years. The lesson that stands out from this year is the value and resilience of my support network. Support given has been returned. Tearful phone calls, home-baked meals, long hugs given and received, even bags of frozen chicken nuggets. I have learned that I am much more resilient than I knew. I have survived my third cancer and other health surprises without my husband of 50 years during a pandemic, and am doing well. I have found a way to experience joy in the midst of difficulties. I didn't think that was possible. Holding space with others in silence gets easier with practice. Caring for an elderly parent takes a lot of energy, and the average everyday tasks can be very tiring. I learned that parenting requires much more patience than it does perfection. My child told me this year that they are non-binary, and I've learned to love them in the fullness of who they are, even if I don't understand it all. And I've learned to use they and them pronouns for my kid, at least most of the time. Boundary setting is epically empowering and gets easier with practice. I've learned I am way more loved in this church than I ever thought. I have learned, again, that antidepressants and therapy keep me healthy. I have learned that you never know what is going to happen next. I have learned that the greatest wisdom is kindness.
At our best, People's Church is a community for all ages to gather together, where we grow, we learn, we connect. Our aspiration is that this is a place that is safe, which encourages authenticity for all in this congregation. In our religious education program, we strive to create an atmosphere for all ages to feel safe enough to grapple with the tough questions and the tough issues in life. And when that grappling does not provide clear answers, we hope that each one of us is going to be willing and able to humbly and curiously sit with the unknown mysteries of the universe while we keep the questions alive. My aspiration is that each one of us in this congregation feel that they have what it takes to consciously discern for ourselves what is true and what is right, and feel supported by this community to live our lives according to our highest ideals of how we wish to be in this world. For our children and for our youth, I believe that growing up as an integral part of a community of all ages with people with a wide variety of beliefs, and ideas, can provide them with a solid foundation from which to grow and learn and explore for the rest of their lives. Our RE program for children and youth is designed to provide a solid foundation for a lifetime of spiritual growth and maturation. We offer a variety of curriculum pillars or themes at different ages and developmental stages to create a mooring for religious exploration and learning and growth. And towards these goals, we introduce our kids to the wide variety of world religions, explore with them how to be creators of peace and social justice in this world. We delve into Unitarian Universalist stories and history and values, as well as our Jewish and Christian heritage. We practice mindfulness together, and we experience time in nature to deepen our respect for our earth. We aim to sow the seeds of tolerance and acceptance for those who hold beliefs that are different than our own, while at the same time encouraging them to discover what feeds their own spirits and nourishes their own souls. We inspire for our children and youth to be exposed to a wide variety of spiritual practices so that they have in their toolbox what they need, the practices and the traditions that meet their needs. Mostly recognizing that we all grow and change throughout our whole lives. We hope that our young people understand the importance of having an open mind and an open heart so that we can remain flexible enough to adapt to new ideas and new beliefs as experiences and ideas change and challenge us to release our previously held beliefs or ideas. Some opportunities that the youth have experienced at our church include weekly Sunday morning RE classes designed to connect them with adults of different ages and a wide variety of ages of kids, to experience a wide variety of activities, and a lot of them are to have fun. And they're all designed deeply with a foundation, a philosophical foundation, to give them a foundation that they need in their lives. Everything from potlucks to game nights and sleepovers at church are designed to deepen connections within our church while building relationships and positive experiences at church. Our whole lives sexuality education classes affirm that we are sexual beings from the day we are born until the day we die. Thus, the title of Our Whole Lives, or OWL for the acronym. We want our children to understand ideas around consent, safety, respect, and honest communication at age-appropriate levels, which is why we offer this class repeatedly, beginning at 5 or 6 years old through adulthood. It is one of the most valued programs that we offer. Our coming of age program is to help young people take the time to consciously discern what is true for them. It's designed for adults from our congregation to help guide them through exploring what are their most important values, as well as contemplating different beliefs and what is true for them. The pearl of this program is that it connects them with a wide variety of adults from our congregation to talk with, to get to know, to learn from. It can deepen ties within UUism and People's Church for these young people. Not to mention the 2 overnight retreats. It is a great deal of fun for everyone involved. Our annual Peace in Nature day camps have allowed kids to intimately explore the depth and breadth of the beautiful land on our church home, while providing fun and engaging activities to deepen experiences with our UU principles and values. Our Mystic Lake UU retreat for middle schoolers introduces middle school kids to other UU kids from around the state in a fun and engaging atmosphere at a YMCA camp, complete with bunk beds and nature hikes, challenge courses, campfires, carpet ball, and UU youth worship. District UU youth conferences open up an even larger glimpse into the world of other UU churches and new UU friends from around the whole region. What was once their parents' religion now has the opportunity to become truly theirs. Planning, leading, and experiencing youth worship is often one of the most fundamentally transformational experiences for UU teens. Feeling the safety and the unconditional acceptance found in these communities creates a euphoria that is difficult to articulate. Personally, I am so convinced of the life-saving potential of UU youth cons that People's Church almost always has the largest contingent of teens at all of our district youth con events. The values that Unitarian Universalism offers are desperately needed in this world today. After 20 years of service to this faith and this congregation, I feel it is essential to provide the solid religious educational foundation to help raise young people today who understand the value and the importance of remaining true to themselves, who are committed to living in community together where we support one another, as we are all striving to be the best people that we can be and work together to make this world a better place for all people, and for all living beings on this planet, building the beloved community. The past few years of the pandemic have hit teenagers differently than any other age group. So many core experiences that define rites of passage in our culture and in our church have been curtailed, canceled, or changed. Our teens lost vital connections in so many ways over the past few years. And it is true at People's Church. As many teens were zoomed out with online school, online youth group activities were quite sparsely attended. Many youth did show up for our bonfire activities, and yet key connections were lost. Thus, this is our first youth bridging experience where our bridgers are not present. With the compassion and the grace for the challenges that they have experienced, we still want to honor their journey and acknowledge this transition. But before we see the slideshow of their time at People's, including images of many of the experience I've just described, I have one final story to share. And for me, it is a story of hope. Today, we dedicated Emerald Hahn's baby, Devin, and Maggie Marr played the piano for us. And though I wasn't able to get it big for the screen, this is a picture I found of Emerald working in the nursery and Maggie Marr as a kid in the nursery that she was caring for. And so there is a full circle, it feels like, to have Emerald grow up in this church and then serve as our nursery care provider for many years. And as Maggie grew up in this church and is now playing the piano and sharing readings with us and attending youth cons and youth group, and having Emerald come back to church with her baby, and she just agreed to join the Religious Education Committee for the coming year. It just brings me hope. With the full circle that it represents, and it warms my heart with so much joy. So with that, I invite you to enjoy the slideshow of these graduating seniors who are listed in your order of service. And I hope you enjoy.
If they ask about me, tell them I'm just taking my time. Tell them not to go looking, 'cause they won't like what they find. And if they wonder what it is that keeps the spark in that shine, they're gonna wonder a long time. I want the dawn to break me open, wanna breathe and be unbroken. I want it to take a while. I wanna be wild. I wanna be wild. If they talk about me, they can say what they please, I guess. All the sticks and stones, they should only leave a scratch. If they wonder what it is that keeps me hanging on, they're gonna wonder long after I'm gone. I wanna feel the years I've traveled. I wanna let myself unravel every minute, every mile. I wanna be wild. I wanna be wild. What they think about me, well, it won't change what I am. Tell them not to go building a mountain out of a man. If they wonder what it is that keeps the spirit bright, let's keep on guessing all night. I wanna get out of my own way. I wanna fall into every day. Oh, I wanna be worth the while. I wanna be wild. I wanna be wild. Wanna be wild. I wanna be wild. Wanna be
This is a blessing for our youth. You show us a world so incomplete, yet shining, so longing, still longing for understanding and love. We too haven't outgrown this want. Our shields have been up to protect you, but you talked us into setting them aside, and we must. Such hope we have for our world's redemption, but let this not be a burden to you. But may your days be gifted with a joy and delight that flows upon and within you, and always remember our love. When we come to these words, our words, this blessing, our blessing, we realize that we've been inspired. Our young people persistently and perpetually do that, inspire us. And often the gift given is the one received. So when we talk about building a beloved community, we don't have to look very far. As always, we've known the way all along within these windows and walls. All the while we talk of our children, watching them grow and leave, we know we are reaching within our most vulnerable selves so we can reach out, giving our most precious gifts. And so it is that we build the most beautiful bridges. There is always grief in this larger love, and that's okay. But what is different today and the last 2 years is a peculiar kind of absence. We're celebrating in part with a virtual kind of send-off to faces and personalities we rarely see anymore. The heart is heavy already because we've missed you, and we will continue to miss you. But let not our world be a burden to you. May your days be gifted with a joy and delight that flows upon and within you, and always remember our love.
I invite you to rise and body your spirit to sing our closing song together. The lyrics you can find in your order of service. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, when we see our faces in each other's eyes, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we tell our story from deep inside, and we listen with a loving mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words, that our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we share the silence of sacred space, and the God of our heart stirs within, and we feel the power of each other's faith, grace. When our heart's in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place.
As we leave today, may all of us know, the babies and little ones and their families, our bridgers and their families, all of us, may we all find that joy that stirs within us and know that the love of this community follows us as we leave, and may we make a world worthy of all the people, including us, that we're sending out into it. Let us go in peace and go in love.